All right, we're live. Sunday, Sunday usual, the Sunday special. And we got a little bit of a different view here today. We are luckily enough to be in Treasure Beach today, and we are at Sunset Resort. And we've been here since Friday. Today's Sunday. We were out here for the Treasure Beach Triathlon, which was yesterday, which was really, really awesome. A lot of fun. Hold on, I'm going to switch to the. There we go. Okay, I think this is better sounding for you all. I hope. Okay, that should be better. Yeah, so we're here from. We've been here in Treasure Beach since Friday. Today's Sunday. So 2 days. We were here for the Treasure Beach Triathlon, which was a lot of fun yesterday. Had tons and tons of fun yesterday. And always happy to spend a few days out here in Treasure Beach. It's such a treat. And I am very happy and grateful to be bringing you the views from Sunset Resort, which is my go-to spot that I always stay at when I come here. Welcome, everybody. Thank you, as usual, for joining. What's up, Fernando? Good to see you in the comments. Robert, no, rain did not fall. Luckily enough, I heard rain fell 3 days in a row before the triathlon, and it didn't rain the day before the triathlon, which was amazing. But it was still super, super muddy on the bike course and also on the running course as well. But it was fine. It was tons of fun. I got a run in this morning and got out a little late, but it was still enjoyable to get out there. So let me know where everybody's from. Thank you for chiming in. Shika and Omar, hello. Parchment, yes, I guess I am in your neck of the woods. Happy to be here. Let's switch to the first camera angle. Good to be here. And got a nice little corner here. Let's see if you could see it with this camera angle. Yeah, so we're here at Sunset Resort and gave me a little spot here, which I'm very happy with. Got the fans going, super comfortable. And of course, we got this magnificent view, of course. Hey, Patricia, chiming in from New York. Welcome. And today is a super relaxed day here. All the athletes have either left Treasure Beach or they're getting themselves together to head out. I wouldn't say all, but most, I would say. And it's just so amazing to have this as the backdrop for a triathlon and have this to look forward to after you complete. Hey, Lindy Lou, welcome. But as usual, I do like to hop right into the agenda. Lindy, of course, coming in from Oregon. Hi, Naya, ATL in the house. Thank you for joining in and hopping on. Yeah, we do have a little bit of an agenda, a few articles I want to go through, not super organized in terms of their order, but some good information out there. I do want to talk a little bit about I don't know if everybody had the chance to see the last video which we did the premiere earlier this morning, I should say, on Kingston Real Estate, which I thought was really awesome, but we will get into that eventually. Juicy TV Jamaica chiming in from Kingston. Welcome. Hey, Junior, UK in the house. But yeah, let's hop into the first article. Got some other Treasure Beach news I would like to share. All right, let's start something cool. Let's start off with the Penn Relays, which was this weekend. Not that the other stuff I have isn't cool, but Penn Relays clean sweep, right? That's what we like to hear. JC competes completes Jamaican clean sweep at Penns. All right. So for those who don't know, the Penn Relays are a big international track and field event at Penn State University. And a lot of young and up and coming athletes, this is their, in many ways, their international debut. And I just remember being in high school, being from New York, that being like a big, big thing, going to Penn Relays and being a part of that. I never was a part of it, but I know my high school has participated in it in the past. So it's just always cool to see it. And even the prime minister was there of Jamaica. So it just kind of goes to show you how important that is to our country and to us. But of course, I am preaching to the choir here. And we will get into the article here. I'll give you guys back that view. The article reads, so this is in the Jamaican Observer. This was this morning. Short and sweet one, but a little bit of an update. And it says Philadelphia, Jamaica College, JC won the High School Boys Championships of America 4x800 to complete Jamaica's sweep of the relays on Saturday's final day of the 126th Penn Relays Carnival at Franklin, Philadelphia in Philadelphia. JC led from start to win in 7 minutes 28.3 seconds, the third best time ever. Earlier, Camperdown High won the 4x100 and Kingston College took the 4x400 to match the sweep by the girls a day earlier. The team of Omarion Davis, Hando Raban, Camario Bygrave, and Javon Blake was unchallenged as they beat Ridge High of New Jersey 7 minutes 41 seconds, 7:41.59. And West Springfield of Virginia 7:45.14 seconds. It was their second win in the 4x800 and first since 1999 and comes after a second place in the 4x100 and sixth in the 4x400. Very cool. Exciting news to be proud of. I don't know if anybody caught the Penn Relays. I know I didn't have a chance to. It was a little busy this weekend and the last few days, but that's kind of good to see that Jamaica continues to establish itself in athletics and as a sprinting nation and really doubling down on that. Like I said, the Prime Minister was there representing, and we always, I would say that we as Jamaicans, like we always have an impact just with our presence of being and attending events of this nature. So pretty cool. Oh, I forgot to put the article in the comments section. If you're interested. Yep, Fernando's right. We did awesome. Thank you so much, Sade. Yeah, it was a good one. This was Sade's talking about the Kingston real estate vlog that I released earlier that I mentioned. I thought it was pretty good. I thought I would say a lot of if you're thinking about investing in Jamaica and in real estate, Noel did an amazing job of breaking down opportunities and breaking down this specific opportunity. And what I liked about Noel and our discussion is he brought relevancy to it, and just doing comparisons between the US and Jamaica, and also giving us expectations for the community based on quantitative information that is coming in, and also getting an understanding of Vineyard Town, which is the community that the development is in. So if you haven't seen that already, I highly recommend you check that out at some point in time. It's the latest video that I put on the channel. So thank you for bringing that up, Sade. Emery's Workshop asks, where are you staying? Greetings from Mandeville. I am at Sunset Resort in Treasure Beach. This is where I always stay when I come to Treasure Beach. I've stayed at other places here, but this is like 95% of the time. This is where I stay. Well, says never miss Jamaica Day in Philadelphia. Hello, Susan. Yep, super proud of our athletes as well. Maxine, thanks for chiming in. All right, cool. Let's get on to the Next article, which one are we going with here? All right, some of these I didn't actually have a chance to read, so I'm like, let me skim through it real quick. All right, it's cool. We'll go with this next one, which is talking about the U.S.'s commitment to the Caribbean. Throw it in the comments. Don asked, is this resort Jamaican owned? Yeah, so it's split. So it's a husband and wife partnership. They Corey is from the US. I believe he's from Idaho, and his partner Janet. Hopefully, I'm gonna ask and see if she wants to join. Actually, she's from Jamaica. So Corey's not here. He's actually gone up to the States. Corey and their daughter, she's graduating from college, and she might have actually have a 4.0. I've known those kids since they were tiny kids. And so it's crazy that she's graduating from college at this point, and she's got her job lined up. So it's cool that Corey's going up to see her graduate and walk across and get her diploma. Robert asks, you ever stayed at Jake's? No, never stayed there, but I eat there I've ate there this weekend, and of course through the triathlons, Jake's off-road triathlon, support them in that way. But at some point, yeah, I would love to stay there. But just my dad always stays here. I've been staying here since I wouldn't say a kid, but a young adult. So I'm a creature of habit, so to speak. Okay. All right. I threw the article in there. So this one is, let's see here. U.S. renews strong commitment to the Caribbean. Sorry, just adjusting my headphone volume here. And as usual, I'll go ahead and read this. So this article was in the Jamaican Observer, and it came out on the 30th of April. And it's always hard to find the author with these. Not seeing it. Anyway, we'll keep it moving here. I'll read it quickly for you. The Joe Biden administration on Friday renewed its commitment to the Caribbean, saying that its partnership is key to shared prosperity and security. In a virtual meeting with Caribbean community CARICOM leaders and the president of the Dominican Republic, Luis Abinader, U.S. Vice President Kamala Harris, the daughter of Jamaican-born retired economist, said that as a neighbor to the Western Hemisphere, the United States shares a common bond with the nations of the Caribbean. As neighbors, we know our partnership is key to our shared prosperity and security. Harris said in the meeting that was also attended by CARICOM Secretary General Dr. Carla Barnett. We also know that we have common challenges, and that is why I've convened the chart forward together. As we all know, our nations have extensive people-to-people ties, Harris added. She said millions of Americans have Caribbean heritage. Millions of Americans travel to the Caribbean each year for vacation, to visit friends and family, and to engage with the richness of that history. From South Florida to New York and beyond, Caribbean culture has become a meaningful part of American culture, Harris continued. And we are grateful for all that. At the same time, we recognize that we find ourselves collectively in a challenging time. The vice president noted that the COVID-19 pandemic has upended many aspects of the lives of people worldwide, stating that economic recovery has been difficult and uneven for many in the region. Harris said there is also an existential threat that the U.S. and the Caribbean face in the climate crisis, declaring that we are acutely aware that the world's emissions have an outsized impact on the Caribbean. In light of this, I want to be clear, the United States is committed to our neighbors, and we will take on these challenges together, she said. Convenings like this haven't happened very often. So today, as a demonstration of our administration's commitment, I promise this is an annual meeting. The U.S. Vice President focused on 3 areas that she said are of priority for regional leaders: economic recovery, security, and climate and energy. On economic recovery, she noted that the United States is the Caribbean's biggest economic partner. The partnerships benefit the economy of the United States just as it benefits your economy, she says. On security, Harris said that the agenda included a discussion of additional funding and other support of the United States can offer to reduce violence in the region. She said climate change is an urgent issue for our entire planet, and in particular, we will discuss ways to strengthen the climate resilience and to accelerate the transition to a clean energy economy. The White House later said in a statement that meeting with the 15 Caribbean leaders underscored the importance of the Biden-Harris administration places on our partnership throughout the Caribbean. It said the vice president made clear the United States is committed to work with Caribbean neighbors to advance cooperation on economic recovery, the climate crisis, and security, among other areas of mutual concern. As part of the Biden administration's commitment to continued engagement within the Caribbean, the United States noted Harris's proposal for an annual meeting of this group to continue high-level discussions. As the United States is the region's largest economic power, the vice president and the leaders discussed ways to further facilitate trade and attract U.S. investment, the statement said. On security, Harris informed the leaders that the U.S. will expand its assistance to the Caribbean through the Caribbean Basin Security Initiative, CBSI. The vice president also discussed new funding to combat firearm trafficking, enhancing maritime security, and support training for police and others, according to the White House. It said the vice president and Caribbean leaders discussed cooperation to address the climate crisis and the transition to clean energy. They discussed ways to strengthen energy security, increase the deployment of clean energy, and enhance resilience and adaptive capacity to withstand the impacts of climate change and extreme weather events, said the White House, adding Harris welcomed the input of the leaders on these areas. They agreed that our governments will stay in close touch, including at the upcoming summit of the Americas in Los Angeles, continued White House, stating that the summit will take place in June. Besides Abinader and Dr. Burnett, Caribbean leaders who participated in the meeting were the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Dominica, Grenada, Haiti, Jamaica, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Suriname, Trinidad and Tobago, and the President of Guyana. And that is the end of that article. So yeah, good to see and hear what I'd say the continued commitment that the United States has in the Caribbean. And of course, as I'm reading this article, I'm reading it from the perspective of Jamaica and the continued partnership that Jamaica has with the United States and the continued relationship that Jamaica has with the United States, not only from a governmental and political standpoint, but just even heritage and so on and so forth. And we're kind of going to get into that in an upcoming article in a second. So any questions or comments on that article, please let me know. I'm going to hop back into the comments here and see what's happening here. Fernando commenting on the previous article. My favorite race was the 4x100 finals females. Edwin Allen girls had me beating my pot covers. I think relays are so exciting. 800 is my favorite race of all time for sure on the track to watch. I think is the most exciting, but yeah, sorry I missed those pen relays. All right, back to the comments. Funkbringer, good to see you on here, man. Much love from Toronto, Throb. Thank you so much for that great development video you made in Kingston. It was amazing. They need to put that on TV stations in Jamaica. Stat. Thank you so much. It was so much fun making, and like I said earlier, I learned a tremendous amount. I learned so much. Lisa Marie, good day, Throp, and beautiful from Jamaica, from New Haven, Connecticut, USA. Welcome. Kingston 20 read the article, a whole bunch of empty words. Jamaica and the diaspora should work together, not count on these folks. I agree. I think at the end of the day, I think we are going to have the most impact. The diaspora working with Jamaica private sector at the end of the day. And if we do need assistance, our doors to be opened, our opportunities to create it to help further facilitate that, then I'd say we can go to the political route. But at the end of the day, I think personally, and I agree with you, Kingston 20, that it's on our shoulders as diaspora and those who are living here and investing here, in that sense. Thank you for the comment. Byron Suit says, good morning. Love the scenery. I enjoyed your vlog this morning. Didn't get to finish watching it, but were later very informative. Thank you, Byron. And I do have a question. I got a couple of comments already on the vlog as it relates to the background music. And so at least I saw 2 comments already said it was distracting, or the background music was too loud and I should bring it down a little bit. If you watch it already, let me know what you think. If it's too much, I was just kind of bring a little bit of a different style and kind of continue to move the momentum forward of the video. But if it's something that is distracting, I don't want it to take away from the information and the true value of the video itself, which is what Noel is saying. It's not the music, it's really what the information and experience that he's bringing to the video and bringing to the channel, and that's the most important part. And if it is distracting, music is distracting, just let me know. Again, if you've seen it already, just throw it in the comments, either on the video or here on the live. I would appreciate it. Let me know what you think on that. Synthwave Pro, hey, what's up, man? Says morning Throp and friends, great real estate development video, by the way. Thank you so much. Donna Bryce says, I love the earlier video on real estate in Kingston and look forward to the next installment. Absolutely. Thank you so much for watching. I'm glad everyone is liking it so far. Happy May 1st indeed, Kingston 16, chiming in from California. Susan Gordon says, it's good to know that the U.S. is committed to. Agreed. Mumble Girl says, my birth parish, St. Bess. Yeah, happy to be here. All right, so let's see what else. Let's go on to the next article, which is, I guess we're moving into more economy stuff here. I think this is the last one. Yeah, this is the last article that I have, and then we can open up the discussion a little bit. But I thought this was pretty relevant and something that I could speak to directly. Throw it in the comments. So the name of the article is Dissecting Jamaica's Labor Shortage. Okay, getting some comments here in regards to the feedback of the music. From Gringer says, personally, I didn't think the audio in the back was too loud. I liked it. In fact, awesome. Thank you. Good to know. She says there was music. Okay, awesome. Okay, good. I didn't notice it being too loud. Okay, cool. Thank you. Good to know. I appreciate everyone's feedback on that. Just kind of trying to get the temperature there of the music situation. Chris PW, I am in Treasure Beach at Sunset Resort and Treasure Beach. Okay, this is the article that we're going to hop into, Dissecting Jamaica's Labor Shortage. Thanks. Let me take down this banner so you can see that beautiful view. And mind you, this is like my room. I'll kind of show you here. So my room is like right here. You can't see it, but this is my room right here. And I come out the room. This is where I had breakfast. And then I look out that way. And this is the view. This is like amazing. And then at night, it's like super quiet. So I don't know if you can hear it. I'm going to just turn the mic up a little bit so you can maybe hear the ocean, but I can hear the ocean in the background and you can hear it so much clearer at night just because there's just like less going on. So let me turn the mic up. Let me turn this mic this way and maybe you can hear it. You're actually hearing there's like a water filter in the pool that you see and that you're hearing, but you can kind of hear the waves splashing in the back maybe. Okay, not really. But if that thing turns off at any point, I'll make sure we can turn it off. Um, Sorry, I can turn the volume up and so you can hear the ocean smashing against the coral there in the back. It's lovely. Not trying to make anybody jealous or anything like that, but it's a great place to stay here. And this is like my second home, I would say, in Jamaica, outside of Negril, is Sunset Resort here. I'll make sure I put at one point. You know what? Let me see if I could do that now. Just put up the website. And hopefully we get to sit down with Janet. I didn't even give her a heads up, but if she walks past here, I'm definitely gonna grab her and try to get her on the podcast and have you guys meet Janet. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put that up. So that's the website resort for the website for the resort here, Sunset Resort. So sunsetresort.com. So everybody knows. And let's get into the article. I already threw it in the comment section there. So I'm just going to get a swig of water. All right, let me move this. Yeah, down there. So we got the Jamaican flag there. All right, let's hop into the article. All right, this was put out this morning in the Jamaican Observer. Let's see if we can get the author here. It's a column. And looks like Samuel Braithwaite is the author, I believe. Okay, hopping into it. The American Trucking Association ATA estimates that there is a shortage of approximately 80,000 truck drivers in the United States. In the United Kingdom, the Road Haulage Association Limited estimates a shortage of 100,000 truck drivers or lorry drivers, as the British would say. Not surprisingly, a similar story is playing out in Canada. The Canadian Trucking Alliance estimates that the industry had approximately 23,000 vaccines in 2000. Excuse me, COVID on the mind. 23,000 vacancies in 2021. The number could rise to 55,000 by the end of 2023. Barzell Wright, president of the Port Trailer Haulage Association, recently lamented the fact that drivers have been migrating from Jamaica to the US and the UK and Canada. Wright made clear that the migration of truck drivers from Jamaica is not a new phenomenon, and the shortage of drivers in the US, UK, and Canada, as well as the concomitant increases in their wages. Sorry, I don't even know if I know that word, but it is reasonable to expect that there will be higher levels of migration of Jamaican truck drivers to these countries within the coming years. Of course, Jamaica's trucking industry is not the only sector that has been and will continue to be affected by the migration of skills. Indeed, Jamaica has lost many teachers, nurses, and other tertiary graduates over the years. In recent weeks, various stakeholders have rung the bell about the worsening shortage of skilled labor in the Jamaican economy. The construction industry was singled out. The late W. Arthur Lewis, St. Lucian economist and winner of the Nobel Memorial Prize of Economic Sciences, provided framework in which the migration of skills from Jamaica can be viewed. Lewis's famous model explains how an economy can experience rapid accumulation of capital, physical and human, and by the extension, rapid economic growth. In Lewis's model, there is a large reservoir of labor, which keeps wages in the capitalist sector low. With wages kept low, firms, whether private or state-owned, could reap large rewards, which are reinvested, thereby increasing the accumulation of capital. While Lewis was speaking about a single economy with two sectors, subsistence and capitalist, a dual economy framework can be applied to economic relations between pairs of countries, a developed economy and a developing economy. or put differently, a developed economy and an underdeveloped economy. Developing economies are a source/reservoir of labor for developed economies. The enslavement of Africans in the West Indies is an example of powerful countries, capitalists, if you will, benefiting from cheap labor, reaping large profits, and reinvesting said profits for the sustainable advancement of their economies. The story continues today. Without the reservoir of labor from developed economies would experience lower levels of growth. Indeed, immigrant labor keeps wages down since they are more willing to do certain jobs without demanding higher levels of remuneration. Put differently, immigrants have lower reservation wages than nationals. As examples, we are familiar with the exodus of our experienced teachers and nurses who have built up fine reputations in London and New York. Further, the novel coronavirus pandemic has shown the critical importance of immigrants as essential workers who keep the cities of the developed world running smoothly. However, the story does not end there. Dr. Michio Kaku, a respected theoretical physicist, asserts that the U.S. scientific community benefits immensely from foreign scientists, whether in academy or industry. These scientists contribute immensely to research and development and, by extension, economic growth. Indeed, the vast differences per capita incomes across time has been attributed to technological advances. According to the World Bank, in 2018, the U.S. spent about 2.83% of its GDP on research development. Germany, Japan, and South Korea spent largest percentages. China spent 2.14% of its GDP on research and development in 2018, but has steadily increasing the amount from around 0.893% since 2000. On the other hand, developing countries like Jamaica are unable to achieve their true potential. Public funds are spent on education, but a significant portion of the benefits the human capital leaves to the benefit the already greener pastures. Yes, remittances are received in return and constitute and significant amount of much needed foreign currency. However, these remittances are not likely to compensate for the vicious cycle of skill loss. For example, when we lose our best and brightest teachers, it means that our future generations of teachers in training and students will be at a disadvantage. The International Monetary Fund publication Unleashing Growth and Strengthening Resilience in the Caribbean notes that for the Caribbean, remittances and emigration on net adversely affect growth. So how do we proceed? The importation of labor to meet various needs is a characteristic feature of the globalized world we live in. We cannot stop the migration train. Aside from the physical importation of labor, we must also consider the provision of services where the provider does not physically travel to the country demanding the service. Cross-border supply, the Mode 1 definition of World Trade Organization's General Agreement of Trade and Services, GATS, G-A-T-S. The real issue, therefore, is one of volume, placement, and source. How many people do we need for a particular period, for what types of jobs, and from where will we recruit them? This information must be determined and is necessary for short-term and long-term planning. It is clear, too, that increased effort must be put into education and certification from kindergarten to tertiary, including vocational, remedial, and continuing education. Particular attention needs to be paid to improving the early childhood education experiences of every child across Jamaica. Every great evidence begins with a strong foundation. As it stands, only a select few have been privileged to access excellent early childhood education opportunities. And that's the end of the article. Interesting stuff. I thought there. Let's hop over to the comments. Please let me know if you have any comments on that article. I thought the author hit on some very good points. And it's very real. A lot of the points I'll open that up with before I hop into the comments here in terms of labor shortage. But I'd also say the labor shortage you got a combination. I think he was alluding to this in respect to the labor shortages being felt here. So you got the brain drain aspect, which has been happening for pretty much almost all of time, I would say, with Jamaica, in terms of Jamaicans going abroad and seeking better opportunities, or just seeking opportunities. And so that's been happening. And like the article is saying, we're losing our best and our brightest. And then what's also happened with the pandemic is it's hard to find, it's more challenging than ever to find young people that want to work. And I can speak specifically to the hotel industry. And I'll open it up there. I'll go into the comments real quick, and we can have a discussion on that. So let me just get to the comments, and hopefully get to everybody, what everybody is saying here. Susan says, I'm not surprised that is happening. The government have not been providing meaningful opportunities for citizens of Jamaica. Yeah, I mean, so I'll kind of throw it back to you, Susan. Like, what kind of opportunities would you like to see? Like, this is, I'm like genuinely asking, like, what kind of opportunities would you like to see the government create? And I'll say they are attracting, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong or the best way forward, but they are attracting a lot of foreign direct investment. And I can only speak to what I know, right? So you got a lot of foreign direct investment happening, particularly in the hospitality and hotel industry, which I will agree, I don't think is necessarily the most, I wouldn't say sustaining is the wrong word, but I would say, like, if you were looking at an industry that could really uplift and move the in mass numbers and moved and shift forward the quality of life of the average Jamaican, is it hotels? I'm not sure. I know it helps. I know bringing in hotels help, it directly and indirectly creating jobs and creating opportunities. I also think, from the perspective of getting more people to physically see and experience Jamaica and its culture, that is a super, super positive. But when I think of, like, man, what would really, really move a country forward? And we have to look at history, right? And we have to look at examples that have taken place in other parts of the world. China, this is a very extreme example and obviously does not apply to Jamaica, but I remember I read this book recently. It was by Ray Dalio. He's the CEO and founder of Bridgewater Capital. And I forget, it's his latest book. I just read it and I can't even remember the name. But he read the book talks about his experience of going to China in the 70s and trying to work with them. And many of, like, what the article is saying is going the US capitalist country, developed country at that time in the 70s, going to an undeveloped country, China, cheap labor in the 70s. And he goes and sits down with them in a meeting, and he had a Texas Instrument calculator, and he remembers being in this meeting and the Chinese being so overtly impressed that he had a calculator, and they were just blown away. And this is in the 70s, right? And now we're in 2021, within a lifetime, within a person's one lifetime, one generation, essentially. Now they are about to be the world's superpower. And that's like such a powerful experience for you to go through. And then when you kind of step back and look at that and, like, understand, like, how did they do that? How did they go from one of the poorest nations in the country? And remember also, and I think this was within our lifetime, or at least the last century, that, like, and somebody in the comments, you can correct me, like 15, like I want to say like 10 or 15 million Chinese people died of starvation at one point, which is unbelievable. Obviously, China, very, very different socioeconomic country, it's a communist country, all sorts of different things. But nonetheless, the fact remains is, like, they're about to be the world superpower. Another example is probably more relevant to Jamaica when I look at Singapore, for example, and they are one of the richest nations in the world per capita. And how do they do it? They became the logistics hub of, I don't know about the logistics hub, but a logistics hub of Asia. And I remember I went to Singapore with my dad in 2017. Was it 28? No, 2018. And I was on the rooftop of one of these famous hotels, and we were looking out to the sea, the ocean, whatever it is. And they had all these cargo trips. I mean, must have been in the hundreds, but they were, and I remember somebody telling me, it's like some of these cargo ships wait up to 2 weeks to pass through Singapore, to pass through this logistics hub, and they're paying hundreds of thousands of dollars to get through there. I'm like, man, that is crazy. And I know Jamaica is trying to position itself to be a logistics hub of the Caribbean, of the West, sort of thing. So these are the kind of things that I think of. And because China, Singapore, when those nations did what they did in this recent history to move their country forward as a nation and as a people, like they felt it. The average Chinese person, the average person from Singapore, their life has improved tremendously when you juxtapose it to the previous generation, right? And those are rich countries, essentially. Those are very, very rich countries now. And I'd like to think that Jamaica has an opportunity to do that and can move in that direction. So long answer, Susan, but yeah, I think you had a great insight in your comments. So let me hop back into the comments and see what you all are saying. All right. Okay, I'm going to try to get to all the comments, but I'm just going to stick with the article for right now, and we'll hop around. Synthwave says Jamaica brain drain is real. Life abroad may bring short-term gains to immigrants. Living in a foreign has its challenges, for sure. For sure. I think you just need to be, if you do, my dad always says, and I agree with him on this, this is like one of the greatest things that you can do, not only as a Jamaican, but as a human, is to travel the world. And I do think as a country and just as a people, we lack perspective in many ways. And I'm not saying you can't get perspective here in Jamaica by going to different parts of the island, that you can't get perspective from reading and from watching videos online and so on and so forth. But there's nothing like going out there and seeing the world and seeing how people live for yourself. And my dad always encourages Jamaicans to live and work abroad if they have an opportunity. And he has signed many papers for employees who've worked at Travelers Beach Resort to go abroad. And then also when he had his taxi and limousine company, Winthrop Car Service in Brooklyn, there are many immigrants, Caribbean immigrants, who he signed up as a business owner to work for him. A lot of Haitians, as a matter of fact, many Haitians work for Winthrop Car Service. Thousands and thousands of individuals, opportunities, and I think he means this. And I would this might be going out on a limb here, is that if you work abroad and then you come back home and you bring that skill set back home and you bring that perspective, I mean, just so much opportunity in that. And I know I'm going down a bit of a rabbit hole there. So, but my point in saying that is like, I think it's a great opportunity and to really open up your mind to travel. And I do encourage that. I mean, no matter where you are in life or no matter where you are living. Normal Girl says labor shortage is hitting every sector really hard. For example, in the tax and finance sector, positions are offering low six figures base salary with bonuses, but we still cannot find qualified persons. That's crazy. Very, very crazy. Sade says, I think many Jamaicans will be returning home soon. We are getting tired of how we are being treated in the UK, Canada, and US. I'm starting to starting to see and feel that trend. I would say I started seeing this in 2020. I want to say summer of 2020, when we were in the pandemic for sure. And then I think people started to realize, man, I don't have to be here wherever here is, right? They have the ability to work from different places in the world and not necessarily work for or being in a work environment where they don't necessarily feel 100% comfortable or are able to be 100% themselves. And so I think that is going to continue to be a trend. And, irrespective of your reason for moving or for leaving or for working abroad, opportunities are there. Chantel says, where's this systemic brain drain without replenishment? It's a challenge any sector to benefit from the maturity required to sustain itself. No, good point. It's something to be, I think, that needs to be addressed. I heard, and somebody can correct me in the comments as well, that we are actually, Jamaica that is, we are looking to, and I think this is what also the article was alluding to, is that Jamaica is looking to import. No, I see. Yeah, I did see this article. This news story. Jamaica is looking to import low skilled labor and skilled labor in construction specifically, as a matter of fact, because apparently we don't have enough. We don't have the skill set. And I think this is what, just saw a comment. I think Ingrid says this about having trade schools. It's a good point. It's a good point, because we don't have enough skilled labor in that sense in the construction industry. Ingrid says, I hate to say it, but it's clear that the powers that be don't want to see Jamaicans succeed. Our leaders are also part of the power structure. I mean, I hope that's not true. And Sade says, I agree with you, Ingrid. She's talking to Ingrid. All schools in Jamaica should ensure that all graduates have a marketable skill when they graduate from high school. I agree with this. And we're gonna do an article about the education system in a little bit. That's actually the last article I forgot. But I think we should definitely be moving more IT like crazy in Jamaica, and doing things like, and of course I'm biased, but doing digital media stuff, whether it's graphic design, video editing, cinematography, etc., etc. So that's just what my take on things. Chantel says, indigenous Singaporeans have suffered from gentrification and being usurped by Chinese and lesser extent Indians / Sri Lankans. Okay, didn't know that. First I'm hearing about that. Chris PW says, Singapore came to Jamaica in the 1960s to understand how advanced we were. So I'm told. So I wonder what happened. I actually heard the same thing, Chris. I heard the same thing. I don't know what the heck happened. A lot of people says it was political corruption. And, I remember my dad told me that the Jamaican dollar at one point was more valued than the US dollar. And it was for a time, the Jamaican dollar was on par with the US dollar. Crazy that we're at above 150 to 1 at this point. English says, a country that does not invest in their people will never prosper. Yep, agree with that. Melissa said Jamaica should have a job, fair trade, people, men and women. For trade people, men and ladies, carpenter builders, and they are good builders in Jamaica just to have. Yeah, I agree with this. I mean, I would say there, at least I know, like a lot of carpenters, like I could find those guys. I could find a carpenter, I could find an electrician, and I could speak specifically, and I said this before, like Jamaica has a tremendous amount of carpenters, but there aren't a lot of, I should say this, there's a shortage of carpenters. So what you find with carpenters here, and this has just been my experience, is that they are just so overworked because there is so much work that they are absolutely horrendous, terrible with their time. I found one, actually, I can't even say this to be true at this point because he still owes me work, but this was like the one carpenter that I was working with, and he showed up on time and he was great, and actually working on the studio. But we had one more finishing touches, but haven't been able, not that I haven't been able to get in touch with him, but he hasn't been true to his word in terms of the timeline. But I find that to be the majority of carpenters that I work with. Very, very skilled workers, but they have so much work, and a lot of them, they don't say no. They don't understand or appreciate their capacity and limitations, and they continue to say yes to work. And because of that, the client, suffers in terms of the timeline that you have on the project. And I have yet to work with a carpenter that has been not even, I can't even say on time, but even close to being on time. And I've been here 16 years, worked on many, many projects that required the skill of carpentry. So, that's been my experience. Let's get back to the comments here. Susan says, where the trade schools, free education is gone. Partners can't afford to send their children to school in order to further their education. Therefore, they are forced to look elsewhere. I mean, there are trade schools. There's the Hart Institution, of course, who focuses on hospitality. In the West, we have Frome Technical High School as well. Is it enough? Are we churning out enough skills? Are these, I would say high paying, but are they lucrative for young people to come out? I think so, especially as a carpentry example. But something does need to change with that for sure. Got a whole lot of comments. I'm going to speed through these a little bit because I see they're starting to pile up a bit. So I'd say is the increase. Shadi says the increase in prices in real estate market is evidence that we are moving back to Jamaica already. I think I think you mean this in a positive way in terms of the direction things are moving in terms of opportunity. Fernando says that's true. Going to Japan was a real eye opener. Yeah, I went to Japan. Excuse me. Fernando was part of a group that went to Japan in 2019, summer 2019, right before the pandemic, I believe that happened. And yeah, we took 13 students here from Jamaica to Japan. Fernando was one of them, and completely changed his perspective, I think. At least many of the students expressed that. Okay. Marie here. Well, I currently know of a young man that graduated from university in Jamaica since last year, and he hasn't been able to get a job with numerous applications sent out. Well, what did he study and what kind of job is he looking for, Marie? Susan says Singaporean's economy was modeled from the Jamaican economy of the 70s. This is show that we know how to do it. Where did it go wrong? Yep, furthering the point above. Oh, Donna, greetings from Canada, catching the live for the first time. I love your channel. Great job. Thank you so much for all the information and your amazing guests. One love. Thank you, Donna. Susan says, I'm returning to make a difference. I know what Jamaica has given me. Therefore, it's only right for me to return the favor. Awesome. Can't wait to have you back. Gizzy says, Jamaica is one of the best countries to invest in. It's such a virgin place. I don't disagree with that. Susan says, the schools used to offer marketable skills to students. Don't know what happened there. Okay, we're going to get into a school article in a little bit. And Fernando says, that's true, coach. Like, I realize that the world is moving to attention-based society, and if you can get people's attention, you can make it. There it is. Yes, we are in a society competing for individuals' attention. Gizzy says they're from London, and I'm using a law firm now to buy a house in Jamaica. Awesome. Jeff Holman says Jamaicans with education want to leave. The government must implement better apprenticeship programs, such as many European countries, and guarantee wages and employment for these young students. For these students, I don't think that's a bad idea. Yeah, and of course we don't want that. I think something does need to be put in place for the brain drain, and then also, as we are here, 100 and something of us, and many of us who are in this live stream, we see opportunity in Jamaica, and for some reason we're continuing to further our appetite for opportunity here in Jamaica, and for one reason or another, we see it but others don't. And maybe, we just don't, like, those people are just not in a position to take advantage of certain opportunity, or seeing the way that we are, and they've had different experiences, which I can certainly appreciate. But I think a big part of it is this whole situation is just kind of like, and one of the driving factors of the channel is to show that there is tremendous opportunity here in Jamaica, and to show and present people who have taken advantage of these opportunities. And like the video that I released today is like kind of putting certain opportunities on a platter, and maybe it fits your investment appetite, maybe it doesn't, but maybe in the future, when I continue to put out these videos, that there is something that you may be interested in, and you do research, and this, a video will be a spark or a flame that might blossom into you investing in Jamaica. Sade says, Rob, the trade skills should be taught in middle school and high school. They should train people in bookkeeping, marketing, so that the trade people have services like that to help run their businesses. Yeah, I agree. Even now, like, I'm having a challenge, because I've been wanting to find like a local person for an administrative position here. And granted, I'm in the grow country. I get it. I know. And so it's difficult to find people that are there, of course, and then to find somebody to move to Negril, say from Kingston, that is highly stimulating, has a big social scene, et cetera, that Negril, this quite frankly does not. So that is like a dual challenge, I would say, but I continue to fight the good fight, and hopefully can find that person at some point in the near future, as a matter of fact. But that is just the current reality of the situation. But yeah, like even these skills that you mentioned here, Sade, could definitely be used. And I know a lot of hotels in Negril are having the same challenge. Sade also says, I believe the foreign that Jamaicans are running to are becoming unlivable, so they won't be seeing it as an option anymore. All right. That was a good, healthy discussion there. Hold on. Got a comment here from Chantel. Culturally, what is it like in Jamaica in terms of parties abiding their contracts? In UK, law enforcement is why contracting parties usually abide by the contracts. Falling foul equals heavy fines. Sticky question. I've had several different experiences with this. So I remember, this was years ago. This has to be over a decade now at this point. We had a tenant at Travelers who was renting a gift shop from us, and he failed to pay, I think it was like 6 months rent. Ended up suing him and taking him to court. Long process to sue this guy. I honestly don't remember the dollar figure amount, but 6 months rent to 6 month rent 10 years ago, I mean, you could kind of get a picture of what that might look like. But anyway, I remember going to court for a year and in and out of court, showing up to hearings, and ended up winning the lawsuit. But man, you also, like, I felt like I still lost because the judgment was for payment to was payment over a certain period of time. He's paying X amount of dollars per month to pay the lawsuit back, to pay the rent back, and it became almost essentially my responsibility to go and collect this money. And I got one payment, and that was it, because I became the person hounding this guy down, and it was very annoying. And so I got one payment out of how many that I was supposed to get. And I was just like, forget it. It wasn't even worth it. It wasn't worth winning the lawsuit, going to court, doing all these things. So it was like one of those things, like, I learned that you got to pick and choose your battle. Fast forward, we had a similar situation when back in that situation, my dad was running the hotel. And fast forwarding to this not current, but more recent situation, we had a similar situation where we had, I believe was it rent, or anyway, we had to do a lawsuit. This person owed us money from their company, and this time we got basically a debt collecting agency, and they took on that responsibility. So we won the lawsuit. They owed us this money, and instead of me going out there and trying to collect this money from this person that owed it to us, they actually took a percentage of what was owed to go and collect it, and they did a very good job of that. And it kind of just took that off my head. So you have a few tools in your basket, so to speak, when it comes to situations of that nature. And that's just my experience. That's just been my experience with suing people and going into contracts that weren't fulfilled. But Jamaica is like one of those places that, in doing business, hopefully you can work with reputable people, and even working with some of these free solo contracts, so to speak. You do have to. It's like one of those ways about doing business here that, like, you have to be an expert person at following up. And if you've done business here long enough, that's just is what it is, or else you're just not, whatever it is that you're owed. And of course, you want to be in a position of leverage where hopefully you don't have to be that you collect your money up front, or you collect significant down payment for your services or products, or whatever that you offer, or if somebody's doing a service for you, that you only put down a percentage of what is owed to that person, and you have that leverage where it's you owing them money for a job that they may or may not have completed. And yeah, never go over 50% down payment on anything, I would say. But that's just kind of been my my lesson learned here, and my tidbit of advice for you in doing business here. Hope that helps. Long run out response, I know. All right. Any other comments on the article that I have that we just went through about the brain drain and such? And just as a reminder, I'm here in Treasure Beach, and as you can see, at Sunset Resort with a pretty beautiful view. We got one more article, and then we got some fun stuff to hop into. All right. So Prime Minister names high-level Education Transformation Commission. I believe, Sade, you were the one who sent me this. Thank you. Thank you for this very much. This is a short one. Let's see if we can pull it up. Of course, I'm going to throw that's the article there, and I'm going to read it in momentarily. Let's get back to the view. All right, so this was in the Gleaner. And you know what? I'm gonna hold up. I'm gonna see if I could throw the. Oh yeah, here's the video. So there's a 2-hour video which I have not watched, and this is put out by the Jamaica Information Services Service. And so these kind of go hand in hand. So it's a long one. I haven't watched it. Oh, this is yeah. Sorry, that is an old article. This is from this was Sade. This is from 2020. Thank you for pointing that out. But this is hopefully, or when they put this out, this was hopefully a, what would I say, the foundation of the direction that Jamaica is moving in as far as its education. And I just lost the article. Got it. Okay. Prime Minister Andrew Holness named 14-member high-level commission of education transformation. It will be responsible for conducting a comprehensive review and assessment of Jamaica's education system, including its structure and operations. The commission will also recommend actions for change. According to Holness, the Professor Orlando Patterson chaired commission is expected to produce its report by March 2020. The last major assessment of the education system was undertaken in 2004 by the Task Force of Education Reform with Dr. Ray Davis. Speaking at Wednesday's launch of the Education Transformation Commission, Patterson said there was a learning crisis in Jamaica. We have succeeded in placing people in school, but what they are learning isn't much to be desired. Patterson, a Jamaican, is John Cowell's professor of sociology at Harvard University in the United States. He previously held faculty appointments at the University of the West Indies and the London School of Economics. And then it goes on to name the different members of the board. So I think that's pretty relevant. It's kind of speaks to exactly what we're talking about here in terms of the education system and the education system here in Jamaica, and showing that there is a problem, and it was recognized 2 years ago, and we're sitting here 2 years later, and we are still not satisfied with where things are and the direction things are heading in. Unfortunately, I do not have the updated report that was supposedly conducted last year, but maybe at some point I can get that. But it goes to show you that our impression of the education system here is not on deaf ears, and we're not the only ones thinking this way. And yeah, please listen to Chris. We could do with some more likes. That would be well appreciated. Well appreciated. Okay, let me know if you have any comments on that. I want to move to some funner stuff, less heavy. But if you have comments on anything that we've talked about so far, please throw them in there. I'd be more than happy to discuss. And of course, any questions that you have in terms of Jamaica, moving here, etc., let me know. I'll be more than happy to answer them. All right, so throwing this up, let me take down this sunset banner there. All right, so this is actually a cool event. So I don't know if everybody knows about this. I'm obviously not here promoting parties. That's not the channel, but this is actually one of the staple events that we have in the grill, Different Strokes Retro Party de Return, as it states. And this is one of those parties that, like, it's really for, I would say it's mature music for sure, but it's for people of all ages. I've gone to it a couple of times in the past, and it really is such an amazing, great vibe, and the music is absolutely fantastic. And it's just awesome that it happens in my hometown. And it's happening next Saturday, May 7th at Waves Beach. more than likely I will not be attending, but it's just one of those things that I'm happy to see coming back, and it speaks to the direction of the normality that we're heading in. Hopefully, fingers crossed that we continue to move in this direction, as although COVID cases are going up globally. But this is just one of those events that is really, really fun, and I know a lot of people in the grill are looking forward to it. And this is Mother's Day weekend, Saturday, May 7th at Waves in the Grill, which is right on the 7-mile strip. It's kind of, you can ask anybody where Waves is. It's a little bit, maybe a quarter mile up from the jungle, even if it's that far. If you know where jungle is, kind of in the middle of the beach, in the middle of the 5-mile Long Bay strip. So that is next weekend. So just want to let everybody know about that. I'm excited and happy about that. Oh, Shade says the updated report is in the video. So again, the video is in the comments. It's a lengthy video. I'll get to it at some point and check it out. Thank you for that. Chris asks, is there an island-wide job board? I don't know. Can't say that if there is or there isn't. I'm not sure if anybody in the comments knows the answer to that question. Okay. All right, let's hop into the. I'm just going to start talking about the triathlon. As a matter of fact, I got some photos here. These are like random photos. I don't think a lot of it is in order. I'll try to put it in order. So as mentioned, like I'm here in Treasure Beach. Because of the Jake's off-road triathlon, which is awesome, which was yesterday, got in Friday, and it was so much fun. A lot of fun. Again, kind of speaking to the different stroke situation, it's kind of good to kind of get back to these normal events, because this triathlon has been going on for 27 years at this point, and it was good to see a lot of people out there. There were 124 athletes that participated in a combination of team relays and then also individual athletes, which is what I did. So I did all 3 legs. So those who don't know, a triathlon consists of a swimming portion, a bike portion, and a run portion. And yesterday was, I'll switch back to this camera. And yesterday was, the swim was about 400 meters. The biking was 13 miles, and then the run was 4.1 miles. Swimming was my weakest, but let's go through some pictures here. So this was the day before. So this is Friday when we got in, and this is when we were doing like the registration for everything, which is cool. Met up with some different folks that you know that you meet online. So like this is Maurice. I met him on Strava. We follow each other on Strava, as a matter of fact. So cool dude. This is like all the prizes. So let's get into the race actually. And this is like my excuse to bring running and running to the channel, even though this is a Jamaica channel, but this is a Jamaica event. So let's see if we can go. Let's see if I can get this in order. So this is, I was dropping off my bike here. Let's see here. Oh, that was after. This is on my way to the swim portion. So that you see all the athletes there on the beach getting ready to hit the water. That's them again. A lot of people. And there's so many sponsors as well. This is like a staple Jamaican event. As I mentioned, this has been going on for 27 years. What else we got here? This is me warming up. As I mentioned before, I talked about this on my IG story. The last time I did this event, I had a panic attack in the water, and I honestly really didn't swim that much in preparation for this event. But one thing that I did do was get in the water to prepare myself before the event, before the swim portion. And so this is me kind of warming up in the water. And this is me coming out the water. So this is after we ran off the beach here, and then we finished the 400-meter swim portion. And this is me kind of just maybe finally being able to touch the sand, touch the earth with my feet. Coming out the water. Again, not a swimmer. I did this in like 9 minutes and change. Can't remember my exact time. And then next photo, we are taking a second. We're transitioning to the bike. So hopping on the bike, as I mentioned, the bike ride is 13, little over 13 miles. And very, very technical, I would say, in my opinion. I'm not a cyclist by any means, so it was challenging for me. A lot of uphill. It was over, I think, of 793 feet of elevation. And for those riders out there, at least for me, that was a lot. And it was very, very rocky. At one point, I actually had to just hop on, hop off the bike and throw the bike on my shoulders and like run up a hill because it was too technical for me. But these are some photos of some folks riding in. Pretty fun event, as I mentioned. A lot of people, all different ages, all different athletic abilities. Awesome community event here in Treasure Beach. That was the finish line. And this was at Jack Sprat, so next to Jake's. Got some runners coming in. And I guess we'll go over to, let me see if I got everything. That's me after I finished up. So I did the run portion, which was fun, which is my wheelhouse. Me and this guy were actually, I think his name is Johnny. I feel like that's his name, John. But this is like me and him were battling pretty much the entire, I would say, for close to half of the cycling part, and we just kind of going back and forth. He would take the lead, I would take the lead, he would take the lead, and none of us were letting up. He ended up beating me and coming in before me, but then, of course, when I got off the bike and started running, he was just like, "Oh, so you're a runner?" I was like, "Yep." Phew, and I was gone. So that was so much fun. And I didn't realize I actually set the all-time record for the running leg of the triathlon, which is pretty cool, which is pretty awesome. I didn't even know that, because I wasn't even racing the run portion, because at that point there was nobody to race. But it was still fun and pretty cool to have my name in the record book. So if you want to beat my record, you guys, you can go out there next year and try to beat it. I ran a 6:05 pace for 4 miles. My legs were absolutely trashed at the end of that. But that's Jason Hensel. He is the main organizer. He's the owner of Jack Sprat's and Jake's. And these are some of the awardees. I think this was the mixed relay team. And I think he's the first place masters, maybe. I'm not sure. I'm trying to see if I've missed any pictures here. And so on the opposite sides of the senator there in the middle, we have the male and female winner. And actually the female, I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but she actually came in second place. So I did an hour and 42 minutes and 6 seconds, and she came in an hour and 38 minutes. So blew me out the water as far as that's concerned. Like, congratulations to her, absolute animal. And so she was actually the second place overall, behind Russell, who won overall. So Russell did it in an hour and 29 minutes. So completely blew me out the water. Didn't even have a chance in this sport. Well, congrats to them both. And I think that's it. I think those are all the pictures I have. A lady on her bike getting ready to ride out there. We did these already. Yeah, that's it, and that's the triathlon. That is a triathlon. Super super fun event for any athletes are out there, or people looking for an excuse to come out to Treasure Beach. Definitely recommend it. It's so much fun. So much fun. Let's get back to these comments. All right. Yep, Chantel says absolutely must have enriched the soul to get some normality back. Absolutely, just kind of being around people, being around athletes, so much fun. Like brought some life back in me. Denise says, do a lot of your American friends come out to visit? Yep, I would say last month and the month before March, I had a friend come out to visit. So yeah, tons of friends come out. Normally, without these travel restrictions. Had a friend come, 2 friends and their family brought their wives, their kids 2 weeks ago. Got to hang out with them for a little bit. They were in Montego Bay though, but I went out to visit them, which was cool. Millicent said they used to be children's skills out of school. My brothers are examples. One is a carpenter, one is a welder. Yeah, hopefully those opportunities continue to present themselves. Mr. Info, greetings from Atlanta. I enjoyed the vineyard development video. Thank you for watching that. It was fun to put together. Hello, Rose, Blooming Rose. Thanks for joining. Mr. Info, 100 feet of elevation on a bike is challenging for me. I can't even imagine cycling 700 feet of elevation. Yeah, crazy. My back and my legs were burning the whole time, but it was fun. I enjoyed it. Donna Bryce says, congratulations. Thank you. I came in fifth overall. And what was crazy, I was only like 40 seconds away from second place, but 30 something seconds. But next time we're going to train for this next time. I didn't train for this triathlon, only the running portion, of course. Next time I'm going to swim and do swim training and bike training. Love Tassie says, well done. Looks like great fun. All winners. Right. Yeah, it was tons and tons of fun. Congratulations on the triathlon. Good to share it on your YouTube. Thank you. I documented a lot of it. I just don't know if people on here would be interested. Maybe I'll put something together, and I can share with people because it is a Jamaican event, it's a staple event, so maybe it's worth putting together and kind of having people be aware of it. Nadine says, congratulations to everyone because I couldn't ride for that long. Thank you. Oh, Marisa got back to me on that young man. The young man I spoke about, his degree is in environmental engineering. Wow. He's having a tough time finding a job. Sorry, I got to, it looks like it's about to rain and all my stuff is out there drying out from the triathlon. So I'm going to go pick it up real quick. Sade says, congrats on the triathlon. Thank you so much. Sade. So give me 1 second. I'm just going to go out there and get just get my stuff real quick because it looks like it's about to rain. 2 seconds. All right, I'm back. This is my very muddy singlet. I try to wash it as best I could, hand wash it, but this is going to need to go in a machine for sure. Well, at least the smell is out of it. Anyway, got myself before the rain. Thank you, Marie. Chris says, looking at this view must make you feel like, what the heck are we doing? Are we doing abroad? Maybe. I don't know if you feel that way, but I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at it. Love being out here in Treasure Beach. Love waking up to this. Got to head back to Negril in a little bit, as a matter of fact. Chantel Sfarsa says it's worth showing the diversity of activities people can do. I've been on a yoga retreat in Sri Lanka. There are people who love to send their trip around JA, around the triathlon if they're into it. Good point. All right. Convinced we're going to do a triathlon video. I'm going to try and get it out quickly. So thank you for that, everyone, because we did a fairly good job of documenting it. So we might as well put it together. So I will do that. Thank you for the support on that. But let me know if you got any questions. We're probably going to be wrapping up soon because we got to head back to Negril shortly. But if you have any last minute questions that you want to ask me, I'd be more than happy to answer them. Whether it be about any of the articles that we went through or the triathlon, questions about housing. Oh, I didn't want to, I guess we kind of talked about it already, which is the video. So I'm the Vineyard Town video, which I'm going to put in the comments if you haven't watched it yet. I'm going to share it. One sec. Let's see here. Yeah, this is the one we released this morning. I thought it was very, very super informative. Noelle Phillips, who is the realtor that I partnered with on this video, actually partnered with Valerie Levy and Associates, and she basically gave us that's Lorraine. That is, I'm sorry. She is the CEO of the company, and she basically put me in touch with her best real estate agents in Kingston, and Noel's one of them, and he just has an encyclopedia of information as it relates to investing in Kingston and investing in Jamaica, and just a lot of gems in there. And he brings just tremendous perspective to the real estate market, regardless of where you are and where your mind is, in terms of whether you're used to investing in Europe, or you have a home in the States or Canada, or even here in Jamaica. He really brings a lot of context to the real estate market. So again, I thought it was pretty incredibly valuable, the information that he gave us. So just I'd recommend, if you haven't watched it already, take a look. Thought it was pretty good, and not even because of me, really because of him. Lorraine Smith said, "Hi, Throb. I enjoyed your video on real estate in Kingston, and I'm looking forward to part 2. The video made me see that there are good career opportunities for young people in real estate." Yep. I think so, especially now. Especially now, if you are a young person who is looking to get their real estate license and is looking to sell Jamaica, and sell modern real estate. There is so much of it happening in Kingston specifically, and at some point in time, I'd like to bring that influx or that boom to Negril at some point. Thank you, Marie. Tania says, "I've been wondering if I should sell some of my IKEA furniture, which is made of steel, or bring it to Jamaica. Is rust an issue? I see lots of wood furniture." Rust is definitely an issue. Steel is probably not the best metal to bring here. It's going to need some sort of coating or be galvanized. But yeah, metal does not do good here at all. It's if it would need maintenance, and by maintenance it would need to be all down, wiped off, etc. So that's just my 2 cents on that. Franklin says Education Task Force has completed its work and report submitted to government. Yes, apparently it's in that video, as a matter of fact. So at some point I'll watch that video and take a look at it. Marie says, if you hear anything regarding that job of that young man and do as agreed, please let me know. Yes, Marie. Could you send me an email, actually, Marie, just so I don't forget about that? I'll throw my email address in there. So if I do hear of anything, I can get in touch with you. Ingrid says, Thought, what's the name of the hotel, please? My mother-in-law is from Treasure Beach, and she's here in Orlando. This is Sunset Resort. And that's the website right there. www.sunsetresort.com. Franklin says 3 key findings to note. Jamaica's expenditure on education comparable to elsewhere. However, we are not getting the desired outcome. Can you elaborate on that? Like, are we spending more or less than elsewhere in terms of education, Franklin? Donna says, where is the best place to stay in Treasure Beach? I want to visit in October, hoping to come to Negril as well. Definitely here. I think this is, like I said before, 95% of the time that I come to Treasure Beach is right here to Sunset Resort. So I highly recommend this place. Like I said, it feels like home here. It's family owned and operated, and they really, really take care of you here. And let me see if I could show you. So my room is like right here. I could, if I had my arm was twice as long, I could touch the door, but it's not. So you come out to this spectacular view, really, really great food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. They have amazing food combination of what I would say American cuisine and also Jamaican cuisine. Probably, in my opinion, if you're a meat eater, if you like steaks and burgers, this is probably the top place in Jamaica. Come to think of it, I don't know where else. Maybe Shirella in the grill, but this has some of the best beef in Jamaica, and they know how to cook the beef here, which is important. I had my own first and only tomahawk steak right here in Jamaica. First and only tomahawk steak in Jamaica. The thing was huge. So yeah, I would highly recommend this place for your stay in October, and you can go to the website and you can book there, or you can call directly as well. Sunset is they are not on all inclusive. I don't know if they have an all inclusive option. I can try to find out before we hop off the live stream, but traditionally, no, they're not all inclusive hotel. Excuse me. I'm trying to find out. Okay, I got one of the wait staff here. Trying to see if they have all inclusive options here. All right. In the meantime, I'll read your comment, Alfonso. The core of what's really driving the real estate boom in Jamaica is its economic prosperity outlook. Jamaica will be the #1 trade center in the region. Developers are betting on Jamaica. I keep hearing this, and you're the one who keeps telling me this, Alfonso, and you keep sending me information to support this narrative. I think that's what it is. Because this is like when you see like the amount of money that's coming in here, it's like, man, something is going on here. And it's not just residential real estate. I promise you that. It's not just residential real estate. All right. Franklin says, two, the education system discriminates against boys, and this problem needs immediate attention. Does it? Franklin, you're dropping some gems here, but can you support this? Like, in what way is it discriminating against boys? You're welcome, Ingrid. Susan says, congrats, bro. I love running and biking. That's the reason I'm coming home. I miss the lifestyle. I had it there. Yeah, that's one thing that I do really enjoy about here is just the ability to just get up and go for a run or go for a bike ride if that's what you're into. Basil Hilton says, good streaming. Many years ago, the government had a good national auxiliary program for high school grads. Had many graduated from that program. Example, grads in culinary, hotel, hospitality. Well, I didn't know that. And Marie follows that up with, yes, Jamaica has some great chefs. Agreed. There's some really, and Sunset is an example of that. All right, we're going to start wrapping up here because we got to head back to the grill. We haven't even checked out our rooms. They gave us a late checkout here. Hold on one sec. Do you guys have all-inclusive options? Do you have all-inclusive options, food options? No, all-inclusive. Do you do all-inclusive here? You don't think so? Okay, all right. I don't think so either, but you can. No, because you don't do it. Right. Oh, okay. All right, yeah, just to answer your question, they do not. I think, Donna, you asked that question. They don't do all-inclusive, only breakfast. Hello, Shayna. Thanks for joining. We are actually just wrapping up here. You just caught us. Chantel Foster says, that scares me about JA in the Caribbean at large. It will become unaffordable to the working class, and also to me would be a skilled returnee. I hope not. It is getting expensive, though. It is getting expensive. And Susan says, I'm going to try to beat your record next time. Okay, next year. Looking forward to that. I'm going to hold you to that. I'm screenshotting your comment, Susan. Lydia Morgan says, I think too many Chinese are migrating to Jamaica. The government needs to look at their illegal hard drugs that they are bringing into the country. First time hearing this about drugs. Funkbrainer, you need to stop. He says, thanks again for everything, Throp. Enjoy Red Stripe after that hard race. Bless. Thank you so much, man. Really, really appreciate that. Thank you, man. Thank you. As soon as let's hope to view the video. I missed it. I'm ready, and says I'm already looking into investments in Kingston. Yeah, it's there. It's there on the channel, Susan. I think that if you're looking into investing in Kingston, I think that's a really good video to put things in perspective. I know I learned a tremendous amount there, and I have more videos of that nature coming. I mean, it says, hi, Thought I enjoyed your Kingston video. Awesome. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed it. All right, I'm gonna wrap up there. We gotta grab lunch before we get out of here and get on the road. It is definitely like rainy season here. It is like every day it's been raining, at least in Negro, and they said it's been rained 3 days in a row before we got here in Treasure Beach. So we want to eat, hit the road, get back nice and early, and be able to enjoy the evening of the Sunday in the grill. And with that, I want to thank you all for joining this live stream here in Treasure Beach, this special edition. And again, we are here at Sunset Resort. And if you do come to Treasure Beach, consider Sunset. Like I said, this is my second home, my home away from home. Always come here every time. I actually did an interview with Corey. Let me see if I can actually pull it up while I'm talking about him. So this was an early interview that I did last year or the year before. I'll tell you in 1 second. But I'm gonna put here we go. 8 months ago. Running a business and raising a family in Jamaica. That's the name of the video. And you can kind of get a little bit more insight into what the resort is like and how it got started. And again, the whole family feeling. And that's like why I keep coming here. It's just feels like a family when I come here. It feels like I'm coming home. Andrew Blake says, great video, went off on real estate. Start looking into all people it's realistic to do. Yes, it very much seems like it. And yes, don't forget to like. Really would appreciate that. Don says, great live as always. Thanks for the answer. Safe travels back to Negril. Thank you for joining. Really appreciate it. Yeah, and check out that video that I have with Corey, the owner of Sunset here. Hi, Janet. All right, and that's Janet. She's one of the owners as well. All right, perfect. Thank you again, everyone. We are going to end it right there, and we're going to give you a little bit more of that view as the clouds start to roll in. We're going to get some food, check out the hotel, and mosey on back to Negril. Thank you guys so much for joining, and I will see you in the next one. We got another Kingston video coming out this week, should be Saturday, Sunday. And we're going to work on this triathlon video for you here and live stream again next Sunday. We'll be in Negril. And I actually got 2 pretty cool interviews coming up, and I'll tease them a little bit more next week as we roll out. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I'll see you next time. See you next week.